Welcome, one, welcome all. It's time for another exciting edition of, you guessed it, the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. So get ready for liftoff. Blast off with me, folks. Come on. Two. Come on. Let's go, 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 go. And get ready for the ride of your life, life. Come on. Welcome, show with no namers. Welcome to another exciting edition of the show with no name here on Vaughn Radio, where English is exciting. We have a blast as we learn the ins and outs of the English language, so you become more familiar with it every day. Not just with the sounds, but also with replicating the sounds. But then the ball's in your court, because I can say the words a million times and the structures and give you these little, tips and pointers, consejos, but it's up to you to put them into practice. You can have the best teacher in the world, but the teacher can't do the work for you. You're the one who's got to put in the time and the effort that it takes. But I know you already know that. That's what makes you model students. Show with no namers who bring the magic every day. I want to send a special shout out right now to all the students who participated in our question of the week. And those students are Chris Valrol, Born to Iron Man. Who else? Elena, Alberto, and Tudani. So all of them have participated in our question of the week, and we'll be hearing from them very, very soon. But when I say soon, I mean very, very soon. That is tomorrow if you're tuned in live. So remember, if you want to participate, the time is now. All right, folks, we are going to start things off with a listening exercise, an exercise that also looks at dictation. It's called the Say What Soundbite. That's right, amigos. So yes, sorry about that. I had a little technical problem there for a second. A little glitch. But we're back, baby. Can you believe it? I can push the buttons. I can troubleshoot. To troubleshoot es cuando hay un problema, pues intentar varias soluciones. No, vamos a intentar desenchufar esto. Ahora lo otro. So really, it's about identifying where the problem is and fixing it. We call it troubleshooting. I love what you say in Spanish. Cosas del directo. If you guys are listening, if you're watching, then you know. But if you're listening, everything sounds perfect. You know how I know? Well, it's not recorded on the computer. But if you were tuned in on the live video, well, you weren't hearing the jingles. So now you are. Hey, as you say, cosas del directo. So yeah, talking about our question of the week, we've got some amazing students who have participated, and we're still waiting on you. You still have time. If you'd like to participate, you have until the end of the day every Wednesday to send us your answer. You can send it to my email address, which is alonso@grupovon.com. Again, alonso@grupovon.com. And this week's question, you got to do some soul searching here. What's been the toughest phase of your life? The toughest stage, también se puede decir. And how did you deal with it? You know, what did you do? When you were down on your luck, no, de mala suerte. When you were in you were on a losing streak, una racha perdedora. Hey, it happens to everybody, you know. So, what's been the toughest phase in your life thus far, hasta ahora? And how did you deal with it? You can send that to my email address, alonso@grupovon.com. Again, it's alonso@grupovon.com. Next week's question. In fact, Born to Iron Man, folks, he got a head start. He's already got next week's. And next week's, for those of you who've already participated and want to start looking towards the future, well, what's your motto? ¿Qué es tu eslogan? You can't pick 10. That's the whole idea is, what is one motto, eslogan, that speaks to you? You know, de hecho, tenemos una expresión en inglés. Cuando alguien dice, well, you know, what goes around comes around. That's my motto. Eso es mi lema, right? Those are words I live by. O es otra forma, ¿no? Palabras que uso que me guían, ¿no? Sería quizá una buena traducción ahí de esa idea. So that is the following week. And just a quick FYI, a quick reminder, we are doing the question of the week on Thursdays as opposed to Fridays for the time being. Por ahora. So that means you got to get it into us before the end of the day every Wednesday. Okay. And again, if you send it at midnight, I'll take it. It's all right. But what I can't have, for obvious reasons, is, 20 people sending it to me on Thursday morning, because then we're going to have, then I'll get overwhelmed and I don't think we'll hear any of them. But you have plenty of time. In fact, I've given you next week's already. So you've got 8 days. I mean, I don't think you need much more than that. Really, you need a minute. But if you want to practice, if you want to think about what you want to say, if you want to do a couple different recordings, that's up to you. That depends on if you're comfortable with obviously the way it sounds, and always listen to yourself. You should be judging yourself. As we say, you are your harshest critic sometimes, no? Tu crítico más duro. You give yourself a lot of flack. Hey, we looked at that song, that song and that artist yesterday, Roberta Flack. Tú eres el que te deberías criticar más que ninguno, right? Especially if evolution, if that's your goal. See, evolución, to evolve, evolucionar, is what you're looking for, which I know in your case, in the case of all of you, that is what you're looking for. All right, so I look forward to hearing from all of you. No, we look forward. Creo que puedo hablar por todos aquí. We really look forward to hearing from you, and it's an excellent opportunity to make sure you're practicing your speaking and you're getting the feedback you need to improve it. All right? And obviously, every time you participate, you'll be that much more confident, right? Una vez más que lo has hecho, pues mira, táchalo, right? You'll feel more comfortable every time. Of course, there are topics that are easier to express ideas. What's your favorite ice cream flavor? Okay, that's not too difficult. But in these recently, this month has been a month of soul searching here on the show with No Name. I hope you guys are enjoying it, and I hope you make the most of it. All right, let's take a look now at our Say What soundbite. Remember how the other day I said, oh, this is one of my favorite movies ever? Well, this is another one. I swear to God. I swear. And I was talking about Goodfellas last time. Uno de los nuestros, right? But this is probably one of my favorite comedies of all time. Goodfellas is one of my favorite movies of all time. And this is also I would almost put it in the top movies too. It's wow. All right. Well, you know what? I'm going to play it for you. We'll see if you recognize it. But more importantly, we'll see if you can sum it up in your own words and hopefully before the end of the show, be able to give it to us word for word. So here's today's Say What soundbite for the first time.
You'd better tell the captain we've got to land as soon as we can. This woman has to be gotten to a hospital.
A hospital? What is it?
It's a big building with patients, but that's not important right now. Tell the captain I must speak to him.
Alberto, estoy leyendo un cómic y me estoy dando cuenta de que todas las onomatopeyas que salen son verbos en inglés.
Of course, man. We love making it easy.
Por ejemplo, aquí pone chomp y está un animal masticando.
Sure, to chomp.
Es mascar, ¿no?
Sí, mascar. Y lo haces con tus piños. You're chompers.
Ah, chompers es los piños grandotes, ¿no? Vale, y to click, por ejemplo.
To click. Well, to click is what you do on a computer. You click. Pinchar.
Perfecto, pinchas con el ratón. Claro, tiene sentido. To gulp.
Well, before I was gulping my soda. Gulp, 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 gulp.
Claro, estás tragando como... Bien. To thump.
Thump. Don't thump your fist on the table. No des un pum, pum en la mesa.
De hecho, Bambi se llamaba Thumper.
Eso es, todo tiene sentido en inglés.
Claro que sí, por eso hemos hecho el tercer libro de This Book is the Milk, que se llama This Book is the Shit. Este libro es la leche. Por Alberto Alonso
y Damián Moya.
Así da gusto aprender. Y lo sabes.
And you know it. That's right, folks. This book is the shit. You can pick it up at Von Tienda, also at Casa del Libro, and wherever fine books are sold. All right, so did you guys recognize that? Because I'll tell you what, the joke here, I think in Spanish, it was translated pretty much word for word. No, yo diría igual, porque hay veces que no, que un chiste es un juego de palabras y eso no se puede traducir. Hay que usar otro juego de palabras en su sitio. But there are some times where, bueno, en sí, la frase se puede entender de dos formas en ambos idiomas. That's beautiful, I guess, for the translators because, well, they're like, okay, igual, perfecto, nos lo quedamos. But when it's a pun, a play on words like that, you've got to be really creative because you just can't copy and paste something. La palabra sí, ver y mar, claro, suenan igual. I see the sea en inglés, pero si tuvieras que hacer una bromita con eso en español, veo el mar, where's the joke? There's no word play there. So again, these are all things to take into consideration. But this one translates word for word, so you might even recognize it because of the dialogue. Again, this is a freaking amazing movie. And when I was preparing the script, I was like, I got to watch this movie again. It's probably, I would say it's been decades since I've seen this movie, but it's probably been 2 weeks since I mentioned the movie or a reference from the movie, just to give you an idea of its impact on pop culture. All right, so that's your Say What soundbite for the first time. We'll hear it an additional 3 times, but right now we're going to move on to another challenge because I know you can handle it. It's called our Pop Quiz. Pop Quiz. Pop Quiz. Pop Quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. That's right, amigos. Welcome to our pop quiz here on the show with no name. And as always, in our pop quiz, we're going to take a look at one of the many materials that you can find over at Von Tienda. Remember, you got Von Tienda in the flesh, in persona. You can go in Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, Vigo, Valladolid, Valencia, Santander, or Zaragoza. So you can head on over there. Also, you've got the options of going to our website, grupovon.com, and you can find all our materials, plus information about upcoming events and all that jazz. And really, honestly, honestly, the best way to really know what's going on, right? About special deals, even get content, short videos and things like that. Well, that is by following us on social media. You can just go to your search bar on Instagram, on X, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and punch in Grupo Baugan or Grupo Von, however you want to say it, and hit follow, subscribe, depending what platform you're on. And remember, all of these shows too, you can find them on Spotify, you can find them on Apple Podcasts, iVox, as well as the Vaughn Radio app. So the idea is to make it as easy as possible for you, so you have all the up-to-the-minute information. And something I recommend, it's a really easy way to know what's going on in the Vaughn world, is subscribe to our newsletter. I don't think it's weekly. I gotta be honest. They don't spam you too much. Compared to Amazon or this one and the other. I mean, some Real Madrid, come on, guys. Enough is enough. So some people, when you sign up for their newsletter, to sign up, fijaos como lo uno, sign up, right? So when you sign up for our newsletter, well, the good thing there is you'll get an email from time to time, not daily, and I don't even think weekly, because that would maybe be a little too much. But anytime we've got something to tell you, we'll let you know. We'll send you an email. And of course, that's your choice, whether you want to take a look at it or not. So that's another way to know what's going on, whether it's a trivia night, an open house. Eso significa sesión de puertas abiertas, if I'm not mistaken, you say. So an open house or what have you. Special deals. We recently had some 50% discounts, not 15, 50% discounts. And that is killer. All right. So let's see what we're going to look at today. We're not going to look at any of my books today. Sometimes we do. And, well, other times we take advantage and see some other books that are available at Von Tienda. Other books that we have either written, somebody has written here at Vaughn, but they have been published. El editorial is Vaughn. So Natural English is today's book. Another way we could call this book is Totally Native English as well. So let's take a look. We've got a little audio clip that I'm going to play for you, as I always do. But if you want to pick up this book, and I can share the link with you, it's more than a book, it's a material. Natural English, you can pick it up for $25.95 at Von Tienda. It was written by a great friend of ours, a mutual friend, Jimena Holiday, wonderful person, and you can pick it up. I just shared the link there. So what we're going to do, as always, is listen carefully And I will be asking you some questions based on this audio clip that you're going to hear. And today we're going to hear expressions and ways to express the idea of insecurity, being scared. Yeah, well, it happens again. These are human emotions for something. So here we go. Here's a little dose of natural English.
Chapter 27, when you're feeling insecure.
Cuando te sientes inseguro. 4 key expressions.
To bear a grudge against or to hold a grudge against.
Guardar rencor.
To take something for granted or to take someone for granted.
Dar algo o a alguien por hecho.
To be green with envy.
Estar muerto de envidia.
To have a chip on your shoulder.
Tener una espinita clavada. Estar resentido.
More useful English. Set phrases. On purpose.
A propósito.
You can tell.
Se nota.
Common mistake.
La tercera vez que pasa. No se dice the third time it happens, sino
The third time it's happened. Pronunciation.
CEO se dice
CEO. Phrasal verb. To branch out.
expandir.
Exaggerate. To steal someone's thunder.
Robarle el protagonismo a alguien.
Unbelievable.
What?
Have you read the email from Sergio? I just can't believe it. He sent an email out thanking everyone on the team except me. I don't want to hold a grudge or anything. Maybe he just forgot me or he takes me completely for granted. But I can't help feeling like he's doing it on purpose. It's the third time it's happened.
To be honest, the other day in the meeting when the CEO liked your idea about branching out to the Japanese market, you could tell Sergio was green with envy. I think he's got a chip on his shoulder about the fact that Roger likes you more than he likes him.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does. You can tell. And Sergio really hates anyone stealing his thunder. Remember in that same meeting when he mentioned outsourcing the graphic design and Roger told him it was a crazy idea? That really took the wind out of Sergio's sails. And then, to rub it in, you had the idea of the design course, which Roger then immediately authorized.
Oh, maybe you're right. It hadn't clicked. But anyway, he should just have better ideas. And come to think of it, maybe I should ask for a pay raise.
Chapter 28, when you're feeling scared.
Cuando tienes miedo. 4 key expressions.
To jump out of your skin or to leap out of your skin.
Llevarse un susto tremendo. Sobresaltarse.
To be scared stiff. To be scared out of your wits.
Estar muerto de miedo. Morirse de miedo.
To send a shiver down your spine.
Darte escalofríos.
To lose your nerve. To lose your bottle.
Perder el coraje.
More useful English. Set phrase. My heart skipped a beat.
Se me paró el corazón.
Vocabulary. A growling noise.
Un gruñido.
Pronunciation.
Hombre lobo se dice
Werewolf. Phrasal verb. To block out.
ignorar.
Exaggerate. To scream your head off.
Gritar a grito pelado.
Vocabulary. Stomach rumbling.
Estómago haciendo ruido.
So it was the middle of the night, and we were in the tent telling ghost stories. They never usually scare me, but suddenly my heart skipped a beat when I heard a weird growling noise.
Oh my God, if that had been me, I would have jumped out of my skin.
I was scared stiff, to be honest, especially as the story had been about this crazed werewolf. Oh, it sends a shiver down my spine just thinking about it. And Jane was quaking in her boots.
Oh, you're giving me the heebie-jeebies. So what did you guys do? I'm glad you're alive to tell the tale. What was it making the noise? Put me out of my misery.
The growling sound happened again, and we tried to cover our ears and block it out, but then it happened once again, and we both lost our nerve, and we just started screaming our heads off.
Ah, what was it? A rabid dog? Was it a crazed werewolf?
Nope. It turns out Marco was in the tent next to us, and it was just his stomach rumbling. Poor thing. We scared the living daylights out of him with all the screaming. And Jane then hit him over the head with her torch when we came over to see what was going on. He thought we were the ones being killed.
All right, folks. Wow. Wow. 3 minutes full of vocabulary and expressions you need to know. We're going to take a look at those vocabulary words and expressions when we come back from this quick commercial break. So, say it with me in 3, 2, 1. Stick around. Welcome back, amigos. Welcome back. This is part 2 of today's show with No Name here on Vaughn Radio. Don't forget to listen to all the amazing programs you have here for free on the Vaughn Radio app. My buddy Rob Grams is the host of The Pro Bow Show and The Lunchtime Show. Also, my buddy Fitz hosts No Excuses. Another friend of mine, Kyle Miller, the host of Drive Time, and all the rest of my friends here on Vaughn Radio. Ready and willing to teach you English any time of day. Yeah, you can keep the Vaughn Radio app in the background. Taking a little nap? A cat nap? Echar una cabezada. We looked at, you want to get 40 winks? Una siestecita, 40 guiños, we say. 40 winks. Well, put some Vaughn Radio on in the background. You'll absorb something, I'm sure. And if you're repeating the different structures, the different sounds aloud, then you're really doing it right, because you're not just working on your listening, which is great. If you're doing that, just that, that's fine. But if you want to take it a step further, you want to go the extra mile, well, then you know what you got to do. What you gotta. Por ejemplo, lo que acabo de decir. What you've got to do. Nunca diría yo eso. What you gotta do. What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you now? Always playing with those sounds, because in the end, language is musical, isn't it? Have you ever heard an Irish person speak? Oh, it's lovely. It sounds like an instrument. I love the Irish accent. And you can get your daily dose of an Irish accent with Fitz in No Excuses, the perfect way to warm up for this program every day. All right, amigos, we've got a lot of stuff to cover. Let me give you what I want for our pop quiz over here. Number 1, guardar rencor o estar resentido. We looked at several different ways to say it. Give me one that you heard and you want to try using it. To make sure you're using it correctly, use it in context, as always. Okay, so guardar rencor, ser o estar resentido. You can express it in several different ways that we heard. Okay, yo siempre me acuerdo a mi madre y decía esa expresión, una de estas que oímos, lo decía bastante. La gente que está resentida. So that's number 1. Obviously, use it in context to make sure you're using it correctly. The next one, a synonym for scared. Okay, scared. Now, don't mix this one up with scary. Scared, eres la víctima. Scary, das miedo. Tuve una alumna una vez que me dice, Alberto, I'm scary. Digo, ¿ah, sí? Oh, really? Should I run? ¿Debería huir de aquí o qué? She said, doy miedo. I'm scary. And I said, okay, well, if you say so, si lo dices tú, I'm not scared. So scary versus scared. So yeah, give us a way of saying scared. Another way of saying scared or afraid. Because you can say, hay tres formas que son una palabra, ¿no? Que no son expresiones. I'm scared, I'm afraid, I'm frightened. ¿Cuál es más fácil? Una sílaba, ¿no? I'm scared. Afraid son dos, and frightened, tres. Okay, so I always say go with the easier one. Go with the shorter one. Why not? That's what natives do, right? Native speakers usually opt for the way of saying things with the least amount of syllables in there and sounds, right? They're shortcuts. De ahí viene el gonna y el wanna, right? We don't say going to. We say gonna. We say wanna, right? That's how we want to say it. We don't want to say it the way it's written. And I think some of the biggest confusion, some of the biggest frustration comes from when English learners are trying to copy and paste what they know about Spanish. And they're saying, bueno, pero la A es siempre la A. No, it is not, my friends, not in English. You have 5 vowel sounds. We have 15. It's debatable. Some people say we have even more. So, tenemos 3 veces más sonidos vocales que vosotros, empezando por ahí. So there's no way everything. And then there's no consistency because in a logical world, the word come debería rimar con home, ¿no? O-M-E. It doesn't. Okay, come rhymes with dumb. D-U-M-B. ¿Qué? Oh my God. So la B esa no se pronuncia? No. So, if you want to get all of this frustration off your chest, let's take a deep breath right now, collectively. Inhale, exhale, and say, English doesn't make sense when it comes to reading the written word, right? So, one thing is what you write, and another thing is what you say. And the sooner you get over that hurdle, no ese obstáculo de decir, pero en español no es así. I know. Por eso hay que trabajar tanto en inglés estas what you gonna, what are you gonna, right? Because there's sounds that you don't have, first, and secondly, it looks nothing like what's written in many cases. You know, I'm going to, I'm gonna. You're like, pero no dice gonna. Aunque pongas going to, yo te lo voy a leer como gonna, right? So again, and the good thing, I think spelling, you guys don't have too much difficulty with that. So I would focus now, sabiendo que deletreáis las palabras bien, ya en la pronunciación. Y no solo de una palabra suelta, pero luego a la hora de juntarlos. Like we always say with consonants and vowels, right? Did you watch it? Yes, I watched it. La T, sonido, aunque es una ED. Otra vez, esto no es qué letra sale, es a qué letra suena, right? I asked her. Ahí, ter, nos comemos la H. So these little tricks that I often point out, que suelo destacar aquí en el programa, all right? That's spoken English that we really, so we don't say oven and we don't say he is, we say he's, right? Son estos detalles. Por ejemplo, ¿cuán diferente suena esto? It is a car. It's a car. You see what just happened there? It doesn't even sound like the same thing. It is, son dos sonidos. It's a, directamente. No, ¿por qué voy a decir ¿Es tan importante ese it is? Yo creo que no. Creo que lo importante en esta frase es el car. It's a car. It's a. So we need to learn these little jingles, estas rafaguillas. Have you ever been to? Have you ever? I've never, right? I've ever. He's the nicest guy I've ever seen. ¿Qué pasa ahí? La V de ever, de I've, se une con el ever. He's the nicest guy I've ever seen. Y eso es diciéndolo natural, no tomando una pausa ahí. So these are the things I want you guys, especially at the level you're at, because if you're listening to the show, you can keep up with me. Me sigues el ritmo a mí. So I know you know enough vocabulary and all of that. I want you to really focus on putting your things together nicely. And again, we've looked at that many times, those linking of consonants, a consonant with a vowel, right? So I looked at her. I looked at. La T de looked. Yo sé que es una ED, pero no, es una T a la hora de decirlo. Otra vez, olvídate lo que pone ahí. I looked at her. La T, naturalmente en inglés, la unimos con la próxima palabra, con el vocal. I looked at her. ¿Y por qué? Porque si no, yo tendría que decir, I looked at her. Is that comfortable? To take a breath right there every time I say I looked at. Es incómodo, solo lo unimos así, más para evitar tomar una pausa innecesaria, right? So I looked at, y más que la palabra look suele ir con at. Entonces buscamos formas de unirlo de alguna forma natural. Okay, that is the theory. Todo eso es la teoría. Lo importante es que sepas duplicar estos sonidos, okay? So another way of saying asustado. And the last one, robar protagonismo a alguien. I can think of a couple ways to express that in English. So we'll take a look at it and we'll see what you guys come up with. I'm sure we'll get a lot of different varied answers because you guys are always very creative. So number one, guardar rencor or estar o ser resentido. Number two, another way of saying you're very scared. You're scared. And the last one, another way of saying to take protagonism away from someone else. Okay? And we'll take a look at those answers in just a moment. I've got to give you the Say What soundbite. I'm going to give it to you now for the second time, and then we can talk about what you guys heard and also a few things that I wanted to highlight, algunas cosas que yo quería destacar del audio. All right, so here we go. Here's your Say What soundbite for the second time.
You'd better tell the captain we've got to land as soon as we can. This woman has to be gotten to a hospital.
A hospital? What is it?
It's a big building with patients, but that's not important right now. Tell the captain I must speak to him.
Hey, Damian, what's crack-a-lackin', buddy?
Hey, Alberto, I was planning to do some sports this week. What about playing baseball?
Ooh, baseball. I love it. But I'm not sure yet. Can we touch base next week?
Touch base. Estamos en contacto, ¿no? Hablamos en algún momento. Yeah, okay. Let's touch base. Okay, what about basketball? Do you want to play basketball?
Oh, man, I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports. But I don't know if I can this weekend because I've already got plans. Oh, man, that's the way the ball bounces.
That's the way the ball bounces. Así están las cosas, ¿no? Así bota la pelota. Así bota la pelota. That's the way the ball bounces. I love that expression. Okay, what about tennis? Do you want to play tennis?
Well, I love tennis, but I'm not really a good player. If you don't mind playing with a novice, the ball's in your court, buddy.
La bola está en mi campo, ¿eh? La pelota está en mi tejado. All right. Do you want to play some soccer?
Sure, I'd love to play some soccer or football, as you call it. What time do we kick off?
Perfect. We're kicking off at 9. Are you available?
Sure, but I might have to play some golf before with some friends. It's par for the course.
It's par for the course. Es lo normal, ¿no? Es lo normalito, lo que se hace.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what about billiards? Do you like playing billiards?
Yeah, but right now I'm behind the 8 ball.
I'm behind the 8 ball. Estás detrás de la bola 8, como que llevas las de perder.
Yeah, wow, a lot of idiomatic expressions here.
Muy buenas expresiones. Si es que así da gusto aprender inglés con un profe como Alberto y un poquito de creatividad, tienes This Book is the Shit. El mejor libro para aprender inglés que te has echado a la cara in your life. Píllatelo, vas a disfrutar mogollón de dibujos para que lo aprendas todo fácil, con conexiones lógicas y divertidas. Es la manera más sencilla y más divertida de aprender inglés. No te la pierdas.
Damián, you're such a good sport. Te enrollas.
You can pick up your copy of This Book is the Shit at vaughantienda.com. It's the shit.
That's right, folks. You can pick up This Book is the Shit and Natural English all at the Vaughn Tienda. It's vaughantienda.com. Also, if you live in one of the amazing cities where we have branches, sucursales, well, please feel free to stop by. If you're in Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, Vigo, Valladolid, Valencia, Santander, and or Zaragoza, amazing places where you can get classes with us. We also have video classes. Whatever it is you're looking for, we've got you covered. All right? And I'm not just talking about courses. I'm talking about materials and courses. All right, let's take a look. We're taking a look at natural English now. And today we were talking about being insecure, right? Being scared, right? Something I think has happened to all of us, right? It's part of life. We don't always feel confident. You know, we aren't always brave, valiente, para mirar los antónimos. So some of the expressions we looked at, to take for granted. I know we've looked at this one here before, right? It means you don't realize the importance of something until it's gone, right? You took him for granted and now he's not here and you miss him, right? CEO, you don't know how many times I've heard Theo. And I'm like, Theo? Like San Pablo Theo? Theo? So for us, Theo means nothing. Right? Those sounds together in English mean absolutely nothing. We say CEO, which stands for Chief Executive Officer, but that happens in general when we have abbreviations with 3 letters. You say VIP, we say VIP. You say REM, we say REM. You say ADN, bueno, ahí sí que lo decís, we say DNA. You say la UCI, we say the ICU. Okay? So, una regla en general. Ahora, cuando son más de 3, depende. Depende si se puede decir, like NASA. But we don't say the NASA. You guys in Spanish say la NASA. We just call it NASA. Okay, so a couple things to bear in mind. Also, we saw to rub it in, to say, I won the lottery and you didn't. To rub something in, creo que se puede definir con un sonido. Ne, 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 ne. Okay, no, ahí lo tienes. Echarlo en cara de alguien, como toma ya, right? To rub it in. Piénsalo, piensa que, here's a good way to think about it. I got an exam, I got an A, aprobé, I aced the exam, and you failed. Y tú no aprobaste. And I take it and I rub the exam in your face. Que es to rub it in or to rub it in my face, se puede decir. Es decir, toma, mira mi sobresaliente. It's a good way to maybe associate that phrasal verb with what it's used for. Okay? To take the wind out of someone's sails. Esto es quitarle la ilusión a alguien, right? Think about it. Voy de viento en popa, tengo todo tirando para adelante y me dices, disparas. I'm like, okay, me has amargado la fiesta, me has, right, dado el bajón. Let's see. Your heart skips a beat. That happens when you're in love, too. Seguro que eso viene en alguna canción. And another one, which I wanted to bring out. How do we say hombre lobo? You can say the wolf man, but there's another way to say it, too. Porque si no, no funciona el chiste de jovencito Frankenstein que hemos visto. We've seen that joke, the young Frankenstein joke here. We actually heard the audio, but I can do it for you. I'll set the scene. They're going up to the castle, right? And it's a dreary night. Una noche de tormenta oscura. And all of a sudden you hear a howl. And then Dr. Frankenstein, it's not Frankenstein, it's Frankenstein. Dr. Frankenstein says, werewolf. And Igor, or Igor, says, there, wolf. There, castle. And he says, why are you talking like that? He goes, well, I thought you wanted to. Why? Werewolf es hombre lobo. Pero werewolf is donde lobo. Donde? So he's speaking like an Indian, right? Like somebody who doesn't speak the language, like a non-native. Donde lobo? Donde trabajo? Right? So he says, werewolf. And he goes, there, wolf. Their castle. Cuando tendría que decir, there's the wolf, there's the castle. Pero, ¿por qué lo estás diciendo así? Because I thought you wanted to. So, very funny joke from a classic comedy. As I said, the king of puns. I think the kings, I'll give you two titles here. The kings of puns are Mel Brooks. Si queréis ver todas las chistes estos de palabras, you got Mel Brooks. He's, Young Frankenstein, Spaceballs, all of them. He is very punny. And then you've also got the Zucker brothers and Jim Abrams. Who are they? The Naked Gun. Hold it however you can. Agárralo como puedas. Also, they have Airplane. Land however you can. Aterriza como puedas. Those movies from those directors I just mentioned are chock full of puns. So I highly recommend, not only because they're funny, classic movies, but see how many of the puns you can get in each movie, even if you have to pause it and say, espera, ahí ha pasado algo y no lo he pillado. All right. As we say, it went over my head. No lo capté, no lo pillé. It went over my head. All right, let's go on over here to our chat room. We've got tons of students participating, which is fantastic. Let's see. Where do we start? Over here. K Roller Girl says, good morning. Good morning to you, K Roller Girl. Thanks for joining us. Born to Iron Man says, sup, buddies. Morning, everyone. What's up, Born to Iron Man? Great to have you on board. Elena, there she is. She says, good morning, guys. Are you saving up your pennies for a rainy day? Well, in Madrid, we've got a lot of rainy days. Only boys that save their pennies make my rainy day. So, yes, you got to save your pennies. She says, at this rate, we'll end up penniless. Eso es, con toda la lluvia nos vamos a quedar sin un duro. I love it. Very funny. Very funny, Elena. Off to a great start. Also, Elena says, hey, BTI, you're unstoppable this 2026. Kicking ass, que significa arrasando, right? Kicking ass. Y fijaos, yo quito la G ahí, right? Kicking ass, all right? And let's see, what else have we got here? Lots of people. Wow, guys, so many comments. Vero, there's Vero. She says, good morning. Beautiful show with no-namers around the universe and beyond. Hello, Vero, and welcome aboard to you. Vero also says, I see a C in the middle of the sea. I see. Ya veo. Muy bien, jugando con las palabras. Veo una C, right? ¿A que sí? See, in Spanish too, right? The word see, which I think most Americans know. We know how to say, sí, amigo. All right. Good job, Vero. Let's see. Elena's got something to say regarding our Say What soundbite, as I said, from a classic comedy. And she says it's an excerpt from a comedy, perhaps in which a man requests the captain to land ASAP because a woman aboard needs a hospital. Absolutely. Incredible stuff there, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. I'm scrolling to scroll. I think you say deslizar, desplazarte. I'm scrolling. Es una palabra muy importante saber hoy en día. I'm scrolling through the comments and wow, so many people are participating here. This is great, folks. All right, let's see. Elena's got something to say regarding our pop quiz. Wow, that was fast. I just gave them to you a minute ago. All right, she says, if you have a chip on your shoulder, it'll only make matters worse. Wow. Great advice. Si eres resentido, right? If you have a chip on your shoulder, it'll only make matters worse. Solo te empeorará las cosas. Excellent, Elena. The next one. She says, don't sneak up on me like that. I was scared shitless. Wow, tia. Wow. So to sneak up on someone es acercarse sigilosamente. No, que no vienen a sorprenderte. But man, don't sneak up on me like that. You're going to give me a heart attack. So excellent phrasal verb, to sneak up on someone. Lo decimos con fechas también. Oh my God, your birthday just snuck up on me. Se ha acercado sin darme cuenta. So it's not just used in a hay alguien, pero una fecha, una cosa, se te acerca rapidísimo y no te has dado ni cuenta. No? All right. So, and to be scared shitless. Yeah, you can say, you scared the shit out of me. Or I'm scared shitless. O sea, de todos modos se va a la mierda. Hey, escucha. To scare the shit out of someone, right? Or scare the crap out of someone. Or I was scared shitless. O sea, en ambos casos, se te ha ido la caca. Hombre, tú dices lo mismo, ¿no? Te cagaste encima, ¿eh? Te asustaste. So you don't mean literally, but again, we associate it the same way you guys do. So excellent job, Elena. And the last example, these are totally native today, by the way. Were you trying? So you said we are. Okay. Oh, right. Okay. We are you. No, entonces sería were, right? Because you put we're. We're is we are. So were, sin apóstrofe. Were you trying to steal the newlyweds' thunder? Buen ejemplo. ¿Estás intentando quitarle protagonismo a los recién casados? Not a good idea. Folks, I can't believe it. We have to go to a quick commercial break. I see many other people have participated, so we'll check your answers and much more in the second half of today's show. So stick around. Welcome back, folks. Welcome back. This is... Can't believe it, folks. Time really does fly. The third, well, you can call it the third or second half. Well, the third part, the second half. Who cares what it's called? The idea is we've got a lot of stuff to cover. And we're going to kick things off with homophones. That's right. We've got homophones. And guess who supplied suministran? Guess who supplied our homophones for today? Lovely Laura. So she's going to be putting you all to the test in that section. Plus, we've got our Say What soundbite for the third time. We've got more people participating in the pop quiz. Plus, we've got news. Name that lyric. Name that movie. Oh, and yeah, real reviews. That's a fun one. I always enjoy real reviews, too. Because, well, I don't choose the vocabulary. Angry people choose it. People who have been wronged. But also, that's when you speak from the heart. When you're upset. Cuando estás disgustado es cuando, espera, ahora te voy a contar yo. That's when we keep it real. All right. Amigos, it's time for Homophones on the Show with No Name.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's time for your homophones here on the Show with No Name. As I said, Laura is bringing them to us today. And I've got to be honest, I don't think we've looked at these. And if we have, it was ages ago, hace siglos. So thank you, Laura, for your contribution. And also, we're going to be taking a look at some other stuff from Laura in the future. And Elena, both of them have sent me some different ideas for some of the different sections. So stay tuned. All right, let's see if you know the first word that Laura gives us today. And in Spanish, y me vas a tener que perdonar, no sé decirlo, broche, prendedor, alfiler, fíbula. So it is a decorative pin used in jewelry, no con la joyería. A decorative pin that is used with, to make something stick together like a pin does, but in a nice, fashionable way. I always think of my grandma. She had a lot of these. Is it a grandma thing? Maybe. I don't know if that's a universal thing or just my grandma had a lot of these. So it's a decorative pin, broche. Did I say that right? Broche, prendedor, alfiler, fíbula. Okay, usually you can put it on the lapel of your jacket. That's a place where sometimes people put it. The lapel, ¿cómo se dice lapel? Mira, estoy aprendiendo esta palabra. Lapel. La solapa. The lapel. I guess that's a French word. Sounds French. Okay. And the second word that I'm going to give you, or no, not that I'm going to give you, let's be honest. This is a word that Laura's going to give you, is traer a colación. I didn't know that way of saying that. Mencionar, I've heard this one more. Mencionar o abordar un tema. All right. That's your second word. So traer, mira. It's a synonym for bring up. No? I want you to bring that up in the meeting. I want you to bring up that matter. So that's one way to say it, but Laura's given us another way to say it. So what is that way? And does it sound exactly like the first word that I just gave you? Well, that I gave you, that Laura gave you. All right? Laura, excellent choice today. We'll see how the students do. So far, nobody's answered it yet. I guess she's got you sweating over there. All right. Well, in the meantime, I've got to give you the Say What soundbite here as well for the third time. So this is the third listen. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it looks like a few people may have gotten it already. So we'll take a look at that. I'll take a look at the comments in just a moment, and we'll give everybody their credit, su debido mérito. But here's your Say What soundbite for the third time.
You'd better tell the captain we've got to land as soon as we can. This woman has to be gotten to a hospital.
A hospital? What is it?
It's a big building with patients, but that's not important right now. Tell the captain I must speak to him.
¿Te gustaría abrir puertas a nuevas oportunidades y estar listo para cualquier desafío? Con el máster de inglés del Grupo Vaughan podrás transformar tu futuro. Este programa intensivo te ayudará a dominar el inglés profesional, perfeccionar tu comunicación y ganar la confianza que necesitas para conseguir tus objetivos. Nuestros profesores Vaughan especializados te prepararán para afrontar en inglés todas las situaciones de comunicación en un entorno profesional. No dejes que el inglés sea una barrera. Invierte en tu futuro con el máster de inglés profesional del Grupo Vaughan. Llámanos al 91-133-5833 o entra en grupovaughan.com.
That's right, amigos. GrupoVaughn.com. If you want more information about our masters, Disney Vaughn English, one-to-one classes, group classes, video online classes, whatever you're looking for, give us a call, stop by. We'd love to give you some information. Even, as I said, if you're interested, you can get a free level test. Just contact us and you can set up a time and a date that works for you and for obviously the person who's going to be level testing you. All right, let's go on over here to the comments. I'm going to pick up where we left off. So it's going to take us a little bit to get to homophones because I still have a couple people that I haven't read their pop quiz answers. And I want to make sure if you've taken the time to participate in one of the sections that I take a look at it, right? And I can help you and tell you if it's correct or if we need to make some kind of little adjustment. So let's see, where did we leave off? Born to Iron Man, participating in our pop quiz. And he says, you didn't buy him the bicycle, so he holds a grudge against you. Perfecto. So to have a chip on your shoulder, to hold a grudge, excelente. The next one, he says, are you afraid to shoot strangers? Iron Maiden song. Okay, yeah, I do know the song, but I was looking for another way. Que no era scared, afraid, or frightened. Las tres que di. But it's correct. It's correct. And the last one, ahí está. Okay, ya veo. Es que son dos comentarios. Okay, I got you. Are you afraid to shoot strangers? And then he goes, no, I'm not a chicken shit. Yeah, a chicken shit? Un cagado. Somebody's afraid who's afraid to do everything, right? So we use the word shit a lot when we talk about being scared. And the last one, AI tools, las herramientas de IA. Remember, we say AI, not IA. AI tools and creators keep stealing the limelight from older platforms and big name companies. Absolutely. Great examples. And you got a little musical clue. Born to Iron Man also says Gesundheit. Gesundheit is German, but that's also how we say bless you in the United States. Thank you. Yeah, I sneezed. I've been sneezing for the last day. I hope I'm not coming down with something. To come down with something means to start that you're getting sick. So I hope I'm not coming down with something, but I've been sneezing quite a bit. Bastante. Let's see. There she is. Lovely Laura. She says, good morning, lovely show with no namers. Holding grudges is not good for one's health. Absolutely. That's true. The next one, she says, I was frightened just by the way they were freaking out. Muy bien. I was freaking out. Yo estaba asustadísimo. Now, freaking out can also be perdiendo los estribos, right? El contexto te lo va a decir, right? Man, we were freaking out last night. That place was scary. Or my dad is going to freak out when I tell him that I crashed his car. Okay, so it can be to go crazy or to be scared. Now, to get very angry or to get very scared. Okay, and the next one, I warn you, okay? Don't try to steal my thunder and rain on my parade. Wow. She's like, you want two? Two totally natives? No problem. All right, to steal someone's thunder. You can also say to steal the spotlight, right? El foco, same thing. But also it sounds really cool. You stole my thunder. Zeus always steals people's thunder. Zeus, el Dios, he steals. Okay. All right. You know, we're always playing. It's not just Mel Brooks and the Zucker brothers who are playing. All right, let's see. Elena. Oh, are you kidding me? Ladies and gentlemen, Elena got the Say What soundbite. After the second listen, because I'm looking at the time, and it was after the second listen. So, wow, Elena, not only did you get what they were saying, but you got it word for word. Excellent job. Let's see. Laura has something to say about our Say What soundbite. And she says, I heard a clip from an American comedy movie. Absolutely. Okay. In which the captain of an airplane is telling, captain es comandante, the captain of an airplane is telling one of the crew members, tripulación, that they'll have to land the plane to take a woman to a hospital. Strangely enough, the stewardess is not familiar with the word hospital. Well, ahí está el chiste, right? So if you think about it, so if I say, oh, we've got to get these people to a hospital, and then the woman repeats the last word I say, a hospital? What is it? ¿Qué ocurre? ¿Qué pasó? Right? But sure, what is it? It's also, ¿qué es un hospital? And he's like, well, that's a big building with patients, but that's not important right now. So, creo que en español, ¿no? ¿Qué es? Pues un hospital, ¿no? Pero en ese ¿qué es como, ¿qué ocurre? ¿Qué pasa? Right? So that would be the where the misunderstanding, where the comedy comes in, really. All right. So awesome. Great job, Laura. Wonderful ear. Also, Vero got today's Say What soundbite as well. Excellent job. Let's see. Okay, now we've caught up. Hemos alcanzado. We've caught up, and right now we're going to take a look at our homophones provided by Laura. All right, Elena, you got the two words right. You spelt them correctly. And she says, I'd say they are. All right. Born to Iron Man says they sound alike. Vero says they're homophones to me. All right, well, let me just say both words. The first word se escribe B-R-O-O-C-H, pero no se dice brooch. Hombre, verás esa palabra y dices, claro, doble O es U, right? En muchos casos. No, this is English. Remember, you can't look at the written word and think that that word is going to be the sound that comes out of your mouth. And if you think that, you're just going to get frustrated. You're going to have a chip on your shoulder. Vas a guardarle rencor al inglés. You're going to hold a grudge against English if you keep saying, pero eso no parece eso. Pero eso lo sabemos. So we move on from that and we say, okay, las cosas no se dicen, no se pronuncian tal y como los vemos escrito. Lo malo del inglés, lo bueno, fácil. La gramática, por favor. Pretty easy, right? Los tiempos verbales, a lot easier than in Spanish, you know. So the first word is brooch. Brooch. Okay. Again, it reminds me of my grandma. And the second word is broach, se escribe. ¿Y cómo se pronuncia? Broach. Broach. We want to broach the subject of brooches. In the meeting, we're going to broach the subject of brooches. Do they sound the same? Absolutely. Excellent. To bring up or to broach a subject. Excellent job to Elena, also Born to Iron Man, and Vero, who all said that those words do indeed sound the same. Sí, que suenan exactamente igual. All right, folks, we've got to move on, though, because it's time for today's news report.
This is the news report on the show with no name, bringing you the latest breaking news. I'm Alberto Alonso, reporting live.
That's right, amigos. That's right. We are reporting live here with our news report. Let's see what we've got in today's news report. All right, well, I call this story, They Have Beef. I mean pork. ¿Qué? ¿Tienen carne de res, vacuno? Quiero decir cerdo. Well, to have beef is also broncas, problemas. Okay? They have beef. Well, a Florida teen was detained, after allegedly, me encanta esta palabra porque te salvas de todo, after allegedly bashing her mom with, are you ready for this? A pork chop. Chuleta de cerdo. Yeah. It was during a drunken argument. And, well, she got upset and she struck, viene de strike, pegar. She struck her mom with a pork chop. What a weapon. So this 18-year-old girl, she was arrested, and according to her mother's affidavit, her affidavit is her statement, no, lo que declaró. She called 911, el número que hemos visto que es de urgencias, for help. And later she told the officers that her daughter had been doing something that's very dangerous. Don't ever do it. It's called day drinking. Beber durante el día. Yeah. At 7 p.m., at 6 p.m., you're sloppy. So her daughter was day drinking, and then they had a verbal disagreement, a spat, if you will. El pasado de escupir, pero también es una forma de decir una pelea, a spat. A mother-daughter spat, it happens. And Cynthia, the mom, said that during the argument, the daughter, Farah, smacked her in the face with her right hand. And when they took a look at the video, because now everybody in the States has those Amazon cams or whatever they're called, there is a video, there is some video footage that shows the teen smacking her mother. And so Cynthia told the police that before the video started recording, and it didn't catch this, her mom threw her daughter threw a pork chop at her. A pork chop. Yeah. And, well, how did they prove it if it wasn't on video? Well, the responding officer wrote in the report, en el informe, and I quote, I observed food residue on Cynthia's left shoulder, which was consistent with her statement. So now it's like it is in many cases here. I mean, it's up to the mother now if she wants to press charges. Now, if you say, esto es lo más importante de la historia, es importante saber esto. If somebody tells you, do you want to press charges? ¿Quieres seguir con la denuncia? If you say, I don't want to press charges, it means that you don't want to. So what would you do if your child threw a pork chop at you and, don't forget, slapped you in the face? Yeah, that's a real slap in the face. Toma, una expresión que significa eso es una jarra de agua fría, ¿no? Como a slap in the face. Me lleva un disgusto. Me has dado un disgusto. So there you go, my amigos. That's our news report. But right now, it's time for real reviews.
First of all, what went through my mind is how stupid am I to actually volunteer for this?
Real reviews.
Real reviews found online.
Real reviews.
It was unbelievably painful.
All right, folks. Well, we are going to fly the friendly skies today. What? I think it was American Airlines. Fly the friendly skies. Era su lema, their slogan, their motto. Fly the friendly skies. I don't know if you can still say that about that company. They get a lot of flack para usarlo, but some people say they deserve even more. Se merecen más, right? So we're going to take a look at a low-cost airline today. I will not say names because sometimes this stuff can happen even on a normal airline, right? And I've had stuff like this happen on Iberia, sadly, but not often. It's not the norm, but sometimes it's stuff that's out of the airline's control. But then there are some airlines who are just looking for problems, and this is one of those. So these passengers said, number one, I had a very disappointing experience with the Wachi Wuchi staff member. Wachi Wuchi, lo estamos inventando, es la línea aérea. The way she treated passengers, including myself, was extremely unprofessional and disrespectful. So I understand, too. You got to be, okay, guys, please, everybody, only row 2 through 7. But there's never a reason to be unprofessional or disrespectful. And the disrespectful thing is on both sides. Ni tú a ellos, ni ellos a ti. Okay? She says, I understand that the airport staff can have stressful days. So she's putting herself in the person's shoes. But there is no excuse for rude behavior or lack of basic courtesy. Okay? Carencia de educación básica. Passengers deserve to be treated with respect and empathy. I hope Wachi Wuchi Airlines takes this kind of feedback seriously. They don't. And provides proper training to ensure better communication and treatment of customers in the future. I think that's a very nice, the person was trying to kind of, tell the whole story. I know she was having a bad day. I know she was stressed out, but that's no excuse. So I thought that was a really level-headed review, even though it was a negative review. Let's see the next one. They made me pay extra at the gate, en la puerta. My bag fit, but I was still made to pay 75 euros. O sea, cabía en esto que tienen, right, in the rack that they have there. Jessica, she names the worker, was just awful, terrible. She barked at me. No es que hizo, pero me estaba gritando. She barked at me, ladrar, and was horrific to deal with. The same with her awful, unprofessional manager. There's that word unprofessional again. They are involved in predatory practices of overcharging the last few who board, los últimos que embarcan. It is definitely due to the cabin being overbooked, even though we paid for it. Lo hemos pagado. My bag was much smaller than the ones in the bin. Okay, the bin is up. The storage bin, arriba, donde pones los estos. I will try to add photos if I can. Absolutely awful. I will be reporting them to the Better Business Bureau. Consumidores. I filed a complaint, puse una denuncia, directly, but it got nowhere. Pero no llegó a ningún sitio. Oh man, that's frustrating. You're going on vacation and you're dealing with this kind of stuff. It just adds more stress to what could already be a potentially stressful situation. Folks, we're going to a quick commercial break, our final commercial break. We'll be right back with much more Show with No Name. So stick around. Hello, amigos. Welcome back. Welcome back to the fourth and final part of today's show. I hope you guys are having fun and laughing and learning along with us on the show, and that you'll stay tuned to tune in to all the amazing programs after today's show on the Vaughn Radio app. You've got Speaking with Confidence with Ale. You've also got The Lunchtime Show with Rob Grams. Speak English with Ruby. Let's Get Random with Jules Linares. The Salad with Dave Boys. You've also got Kyle Miller in Drive Time. Chris Frank in Frankly Speaking. Jessica Fernandez and The Hour to Empower. And the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only Richard Vaughn in Richard Vaughn Live. Don't forget, we've also got an online audio course right now called Vaughan Inglés 4.0, and you can get it exclusively on iVox, a very popular Spanish podcast platform. Check it out. And this way, you never run out of content. Nunca te quedas sin contenido, not with Vaughn. And that's the free stuff. Y yo estoy hablando de lo gratis. Never mind if you take a Vaughn Town or a Masters or something like that. All right, let's kick things off then in the fourth and final part of today's show with today's double trouble. Yeah. Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You know it. It is time for today's Double Trouble, and you are not going to believe it, but folks, if you liked the homophone challenge, then you're going to love this one as well, because this one was sent to us by lovely Laura, and she said, she says, my pleasure. Thank you for letting us chip in. To chip in or to pitch in es poner nuestra parte, right? A chip in, de esto yo creo que viene de póker. A chip es la ficha. So chip in is juego, pongo mi parte, right? So thank you for letting us chip in or pitch in. Say, oh, my pleasure, guys. Hey, again, the best way to remember something that you've learned recently is by reviewing it. And, well, the best way is by teaching it to someone else. So in this case, I'm teaching it, but Laura gave us the seed, esa semilla. So good luck. And if it's difficult, you're barking up the wrong tree if you take it out on me, right? Usando esa palabra otra vez, bark, ladrando. You're barking up the wrong tree. Okay, los soldados salieron de sus cuarteles y y pudieron ver a los dignatarios muy de cerca. Los soldados salieron de sus cuarteles y pudieron ver a los dignatarios muy de cerca. And Laura, now that I look at it, it could be triple trouble. Que estábamos hablando antes de monedas. Elena mencionó penny, que es un céntimo, a nickel, 5, a dime, 10, 25. No te lo voy a decir yo. You gotta tell me. Oh, entonces tiene. Okay, hey. Maybe I've just given you a little clue. So, los soldados salieron de sus cuarteles y pudieron ver a los dignatarios muy de cerca. That's your double trouble. Thank you, Laura, for sending it to us. And we'll see if somebody is able to figure that one out. Also, I'm going to give you your Say What soundbite. A couple of our students have already figured it out. Here it is for the fourth and final time.
You'd better tell the captain we've got to land as soon as we can. This woman has to be gotten to a hospital.
A hospital? What is it?
It's a big building with patients, but that's not important right now. Tell the captain I must speak to him.
Common mistake. To be, agree. Something I corrected just the other day was I am or I'm agree with you. In English, we simply say I agree with you. For example, I agree with your proposal, or I completely agree. It's a tiny change, but a very important one. These distinctions are crucial in interviews, and they're exactly the kind of details we train in the Executive Master at Grupo Balkan.
That's right, folks. The Executive Master at Grupo Von. You can find out more information about the Masters or any of our initiatives if you go to our website, grupovon.com. Another thing you can do as well is follow us on social media or sign up for our newsletter. And this way, you'll get all the 411, toda la información. And you'll never have an English 911, una urgencia, emergencia, in English. All right, looks like nobody's figured out the double trouble yet. So, Laura, you made it pretty difficult. Vero says to press charges, presentar cargos. Es casi igual. To press charges. Do you want to press charges? Now, sometimes you don't have a choice, right? Sometimes they won't ask you if it's, okay, well, he violated public property. He did. You don't always have a choice. But if it's something that only affects you, then in many cases, unless it's a felony, te ha disparado al ojo, that kind of stuff. You catch what I'm saying? It's usually in the person's hands. And then we have, restraining orders. You say orden de alejamiento, restraining order. So, all right, let's see. K Roller Girl says, I had a similar experience at Luton Airport. My ID fell between the security conveyor rollers and I couldn't find it at boarding, excuse me. What that is called bad luck. Yeah, because you didn't even realize. If you had realized it at the moment, then you could have asked somebody in the staff, hey, can we try and get this thing out of here? Wow. That's really bad luck, but Luton Airport, I've been there. Makes you feel like Luton. Saquear. So, L-O-O-T-I-N-G. Yo no digo la G porque en Estados Unidos nos comemos esa G. So, Luton Airport. He was at Luton Airport for so long that he started Luton. Never realized that. Let's see. Oh, okay. K Roller Girl. She's telling us the whole story here. Let's see. Then she says they wouldn't accept a photo of it and treated me like an undocumented immigrant. So my husband, my son, and I missed our flight. It was very stressful. You know what? I get you. But that stinks. And I can imagine the same. I got to say something. I don't think it's Luton. I can imagine the same thing happening to you at JFK. They'll be like, I'm sorry, we don't accept photos. So it's unfortunate that you lost it. And a lot of times they stick to that protocol because if something goes wrong, it's also on them. So what a shame. Yeah, it's hard. I'm paranoid. When I travel, I've got my fanny pack, mi riñonera, and I've got everything in there zipped up. I check it 75 times and I check it again and I recheck it. So, and then K Roller Girl says, later security called to say they had found my ID. Okay, well, there's some good news. And we booked the next flight back to Spain to leave the unpleasant situation behind. Yeah, well, let's put it this way. It's unfortunate. Losing your ID at a place where you need an ID sucks, right? Because then you got to rely on the person to kind of look the other way, hacer la vista gorda. But again, there are implications. So if, but they could have made it a little bit easier for you, right? They could have said, okay, well, listen, honestly, we can't let you on that plane. It's legislation, whatever. We cannot due to safety. How can we help you book another one and find it? That's the real situation, because in the end, you're the victim. You lost something, right? And so you don't treat a victim bad. You treat a victim of something good. That's again, in a logical world. We don't live in that world. All right, let's take a look. Elena says, the soldiers left the quarters and were able to see a quarter guard. Nope. Let's see. Vero says the soldiers left the quarter. Where did you? Oh, so you guys said the same thing here. Elena and Vero said the exact same thing here. I've never heard quarter guard. Okay. Well, let me give you what Laura has here. That's the best way to do this here. The soldiers left their quarters. Okay. The soldiers left their quarters, sus cuarteles. Sounds similar, quarters. De hecho, ¿de dónde viene la palabra headquarters? La sede, donde van los cabezas. Los cuarteles de cabeza. That's literally de una empresa, the headquarters, pero viene de un término militar, right? We have to call headquarters over and out, right? So the soldiers left their quarters and were able to see the dignitaries at close quarters. La expresión at close quarters, piensa, en un cuartel pequeño, cercano, de cerca. Great. Yeah, a lot of times you say it too. There are 6 of us in a hotel room. This is close quarters. O sea, estamos encima uno del otro. It means, otra vez, si sabes la palabra quarters es cuartel, pues close, no muy amplio, no hay mucho sitio. Estamos todos pegados aquí. And quarter, also, de un partido de baloncesto, un cuarto, pero también es una moneda de 25 céntimos. Do you have a quarter? So, excellent. And if you're Led Zeppelin fans, then you know the song No Quarter, right? No quarter es que no hay sitio para dormir, no hay sitio para estar, no quarter. O no hay moneda de 25 céntimos. I don't think that's what they meant. So excellent job, Laura. Elena, excellent effort. Vero as well. It's weird where you guys got. Tell me, I'm curious to see the quarter, because it's not one. Both of you said quarter guard, and it's something I've never heard before. So maybe you found that somewhere. That's weird. Okay, well, either way, this is the right answer, the one that Laura gave us, and thanks again, Laura. The soldiers left their quarters and were able to see the dignitaries at close quarters. Los soldados salieron de sus cuarteles y pudieron ver a los dignatarios muy de cerca. All right, folks, it's time to move on to Name That Movie. Name That Movie. That's right, folks. Welcome to the movies, El Cine. Here we go with today's synopsis. When his uptight CEO sister, eso lo vimos antes, no es CEO, es CEO, en el audio, ¿no? En el pop quiz. when his uptight CEO sister threatens to shut down his branch, the branch manager throws an epic Christmas party in order to land a big client and save the day. But the party gets way out of hand. Okay? So, uptight. Uptight means you're always nervous. You're always like, oh, but don't we have to do this? ¿Qué es la palabra que usamos? Que nunca te relajas. Uptight. Tenso might be a good word to say it. Tieso, embarado, tenso, nervioso. Yeah. So when his uptight CEO sister threatens, a threat es una amenaza, el verbo to threaten, threatens to shut down, chapar, cerrar para siempre, to shut down his branch, que también lo vimos, sucursal, the branch manager, el jefe de sucursal, throws an epic Christmas party. Hace un fiestón de Navidad épico. In order to land a big client. Now, this land is not aterrizar como un avión, ni tierra, but to land is to get en esto. He landed a job. He landed a client. That means to get, obtener. Okay, it's another way of saying it is frase hecha. And save the day, salvar el día. But the party gets way out of hand. Se les va de las manos. All right, our winners, ladies and gentlemen, Elena and Laura. The movie is called Office Christmas Party. Folks, it's a funny one. It is, I mean, the cast is awesome. El reparto, excellent cast, funny concept. And I know my wife and I, oh man, every time we watch it, we usually watch it around Christmas, we crack up. It's one of those movies, you don't have to think too much. It's got some laughs in it and funny characters and really great comedic performers. It's called Office Christmas Party, and it came out in 2016. Let's take a look. Carol Vanstone says, "Get me on my goddamn plane, all right? Me pones en mi maldito avión." Okay? Now, this character is played by Jennifer Aniston, by the way, the uptight CEO sister. And she says, "Get me on my goddamn plane, all right? Quiero subirme ya a mi maldito avión. I have enough miles to orbit the sun." Oh, not on my. Get me on any. Lo leí mal. Digo, entonces no tiene sentido. So get me on any. A mí me pones en cualquier maldito avión. All right? I have enough miles. Avios, they say. No, estos puntos de these rewards points. I have enough miles to orbit the sun. Tengo bastantes avios para rotar, orbitar al sol. And the airline concierge, maybe this is at Luton, says, "I'm sorry, ma'am." Ma'am is señora. "All flights are grounded until the snow clears." ¿Castigados? No. Pero también, yeah. If a person is grounded, castigado. If a plane is grounded, también castigado. No puede salir de la tierra. Think of it that way, no? En tierra. So all flights are grounded until the snow clears. There's nothing more I can do. No, como decimos, my hands are tied. And Carol says, "Well, refer me to someone who can do something." This is the, "I want to speak to your manager" line. And then the airline concierge says, "Well, that would be God, ma'am." Eso sería Jesús, Dios, señora. Si lo que quieres es que pare, que deje de nevar. So very funny movie, Office Christmas Party. Time to move on to your joking.
Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar. You're joking.
All right, folks, here we go. I've got some aviation jokes since we were looking at some airlines and things like that today. So here we go. What has a nose? This is more of a riddle. Esto es a riddle. Okay, un acertijo, you say? What has a nose and flies but can't smell? What has a nose and flies but can't smell? An airplane. That's an easy one. It has a nose, la nariz del avión. It flies, vuela, but it can't smell, pero no puede oler con esa nariz. An airplane. All right. I've got another one. I have a really good airplane joke that I want to share with you guys, but I think it might go over your head. ¿No? ¿Lo habéis pillado? Miramos eso, creo que ayer o antes. If something goes over your head, no lo captas. So do you get it? I have a really good airplane joke that I want to share with you, but I think it might go over your head. Creo que no lo captarás. Creo que pasará por encima de tu cabeza del avión. All right, folks, it's time for famous birthday trivia.
Famous birthdays for you. Famous birthdays for me. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Famous birthdays for him. Famous birthdays for her. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, our first birthday boy was born today in 1977, so he's around the same age as me. He co-founded the rock band Linkin Park. Many of you are familiar with Linkin Park. If not, they're awesome. So he was one of the singers. They had two singers, not the one that died. So this guy's still alive, but one of the singers of Linkin Park is no longer with us. So the living one, okay? And he's been in other groups. There was a hip-hop band. Si te gusta hip-hop, a mí me encanta también. Fort Minor. Fuerte Menor. Fort Minor, awesome. Really good. Positive music as well. All right, and number two, she was my favorite friend. Well, on the show, Friends. En el programa Friends. She's been in many, many movies, though, aside from playing, what's her name on Friends? I forget. Rachel on Friends. She was in The Good Girl, Murder Mystery, We're the Millers, The Breakup, Office Space, Bruce Almighty, Office Christmas Party. Hey, yeah, I said her name before. All right, and last but not least, this guy was in The Naked Gun, Agárralo Como Puedas. He played Lieutenant Frank Drebin. He was also in Airplane, Aterriza Como Puedas, and he's very famous, or was very famous, for his straight-faced humor, right? So he never said, here comes the joke. He was more like, he said every joke as if it were like a serious scene. It's called deadpan. Cuando no pones emoción detrás de la comedia. Deadpan. And he was the king of deadpan. All right, number one is Mike Shinoda. Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park. Number two, Jennifer Aniston. And number three, Leslie Nielsen. Leslie Nielsen, awesome, amazing actor. And that's going to bring us right over to today's Say What soundbite. This is Leslie Nielsen in Airplane. Aterriza como puedas. And he says, you'd better tell the captain, más te vale decirle al comandante, we've got to land as soon as we can. Tenemos que aterrizar en cuanto podamos. This woman has to be gotten to a hospital. Esta hay que llevarla a un hospital. This woman has to be gotten to a hospital. And then she goes, a hospital? What is it? ¿Qué ocurre? And he goes, it's a big building with patients, but that's not important right now. Tell the captain I must speak to him. So here he is, the legendary Leslie Nielsen in one of the best comedies ever, Airplane, Aterriza como puedas.
You'd better tell the captain we've got to land as soon as we can. This woman has to be gotten to a hospital.
A hospital? What is it?
It's a big building with patients, but that's not important right now. Tell the captain I must speak to him.
All right, amigos. There it is. Classic scene. Otra que decimos de esa película también es, le dice, Shirley, you must be joking. Shirley is surely, ¿no? Seguramente. Y dice, I'm not joking, and don't call me Shirley. Pero otra vez lo dice con cara seria. He's like, no, I'm not joking. And don't call me Shirley. Surely you must be joking. Y lo dice varias veces. Y estas son cosas que cuando alguien hoy en día dice la palabra Shirley, ya sale la frase, don't call me Shirley. All right, folks, we're going to say goodbye with an amazing song by Linkin Park. It's Numb, con la B muda. I've become so numb, I can't feel you there. I've become so tired, so much more aware. So it starts out with, I'm tired of being what you want me to be. Feeling so faithless, lost under the surface. No surface, surface. Don't know what you're expecting of me. ¿Qué esperas de mí? Put under the pressure of walking in your shoes. Andando en tu piel, tus zapatos, decimos. Every step that I take is another mistake to you. Cada paso que tomo es un error para ti. Y aquí dice, caught in the undertow, just caught in the undertow. Me está llevando la marea fuerte, peligrosa, the undertow. Y luego, I've become so numb. I want you guys to sing it with me. It's a classic by Linkin Park. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow with more. Ciao for now. Do it with me. You know you want to. Come on. Become so numb, I can't feel you there.